So welcome to my TED Talk on the Arcane Season 2 characters tier list. This tier list, I've kind of done it in a way where it's like not really rating how good the characters... Well, it is based on how good the characters are. But it's more like, I guess, personal opinion on like how good the characters are. At the bottom, I've included characters that haven't shown up in Season 2. I guess you could make an argument that this guy did show up in Season 2, actually. Some of them kind of do show up in Season 2, kind of, but it's more flashbacks or memories or stuff like that. So for some of them, they're unfortunately just not included. I might do a Season 1 character tier list. We'll see. But we'll do the main characters that we do see in the actual show of Season 2. I guess I could put Powder not in Season 2, because technically she's not, it's just Jinx. And Powder's more of a flashback. Okay, so to begin with, we have Vi, who obviously is going to be one of the best characters, at least to me. I love Vi's character. I do think that in Season 2, she's obviously not... I feel like she's not the main vocal point of the story sometimes. She feels a bit more... Not like a background character, but doesn't feel like the main character as much as she did in Season 1. But even so, she's still easily one of my favorite characters in the actual show. Jinx is also going in best character. She just has such a good story. Season 1 had her finally kind of kill Powder, that side of her. And then Season 2 is just Jinx. I do think, though, I do like Jinx way more, though, in Season 2. And I think it's because of her friendship with Isha, who we will be ranking in a little bit. Which, by the way, it was really sad at the end of episode 6 what happened to Isha. Caitlyn is next. I like Caitlyn. I do. I don't think she's the best characters, unfortunately, because at the moment she just seems a bit... She just seems heavily tunneled visioned on Jinx, which is understandable, but I don't like how her and Vi kind of split in the end of Act 1. Obviously, they've sort of like made amends now, but it still felt very like... I wasn't a super huge fan of Caitlyn's character in Season 2. She definitely plays more of a prominent role in Season 2. Actually, no, you know what? I think Caitlyn's fine. I think she's a good character. Or not just good, but like one of the better characters, just because of the story she has in Season 2. I will say she's probably behind Jinx and Vi for me, just because I don't super like how aggressive she is sometimes, but she is a good character. Mel is gonna be in good characters. I'm not gonna lie, Mel is nearly in best characters because of her little story that she had in Season 2, in Act 2, and finally finding out that she's got some sort of abilities going on, which there was theories after Season 1 whether she did. And I think her story with the Black Rose clan or whatever it is, that's really interesting. So I think Mel's in good characters, but she's not quite up to best characters personally for me yet. Jace is Season 1 Jace, and even beginning of Season 2 Jace, I would have maybe put him in good characters, maybe even in best, but I really don't like how he's becoming Act 2. He's just, I feel like there's definitely two sides at the moment for Jace. Some people really like his character, and then others just want to give him a massive middle finger for what he did to Victor in Act 2. So I kind of like Jace, but I don't know if I can put him any higher because I don't like how he currently is. Echo, best character. I really like Echo's character, and I know Echo's ability is in League of Legends, so we're gonna kind of see if that ends up coming to fruition. But I really like Echo's character. He just has a super satisfying character development, and I really can't wait for him to come back in Season 2. Well, hopefully he comes back. Victor is gonna be good characters. I like Victor's character. If it was Season 1 Victor, I would have probably put him down here with Jace, but I liked Victor's character more in Season 2 just because of his story arc that he has. But I don't trust the fact that he was quote-unquote healing people. I mean, he was, but for some reason I just didn't really trust it. it felt too like cultish, and yeah, I don't know. I just got like a strange feeling towards Victor's character. I still like his character, but I don't completely trust it, I'll be honest. Next is Vanda, best character. The reason why Vanda's still in the show is because obviously in Act 2 he is, I believe, Warwick, and his design in season 2 is awesome. Although my heart breaks with like what's happened with Vanda, but Vanda throughout both seasons has just been a very, very good character. Savika she's all right. I didn't like her in season 1, to be honest, like at all, but I think now that she's kind of like teaming up with Jinx a lot more, I like Savika's character a bit more. Okay, I believe this character is Sing. I can't remember his name exactly. I think he has interesting plot points, but I just don't care for him. I think he's super interesting with his story, but I just don't care of him because I don't like him. I mean, he was the reason why Shimmer exists. Pretty much most of the events of season 1, he's the reason behind it also. Although I understand why he's doing it, his motivations, I just don't like him. I'm just not a big fan of him. Heimeldinger is gonna be, I kind of like. I mean, we don't get much of him in season 2, I'll be honest. And in season 1, he wasn't my favorite character, but I like his character. He's an alright character. I think he makes a good supporting character for Echo and Jace, so I think he's all right. Ambessa is probably gonna be in a kind of like, I'm on the fence with Ambessa. I don't like her, but at the same time I do. I think she's such an interesting character, and the way she's just very good at getting in people's heads. I don't know. She makes for a great antagonist, but at the end of the day, I don't know if I can like her too much because she is kind of against our main cast. Caitlin's father, I don't care for. He just hasn't really had much to do in season 2. Neither did he do much in season 1, but okay. This was the person who was part of Black Rose, the one who attacked Ambessa, maybe, I believe. I don't care for. She I didn't really get much from her, like, story-wise, so. This is the guy who was one of the council members. I don't care for. I think he was interesting when he went to Victor to be healed, but ultimately I just don't care much for his character. Ambessa's guard, he's cool, but I just don't, there's just not a lot of story around him, so I just don't care. Sky is gonna be in, I kind of like them. She's kind of in season 2 in a way. She appears to Victor in more of a spiritual form, and I guess is more of a guidance than anything. And that's why I think she is still kind of in season 2, and I kind of like her character. I wouldn't say she's as good as like some of these characters, but I kind of like her character. You know what? I'm gonna switch Sing actually up to kind of like. I mean, I don't, but I kind of do, just because he has a bit more story going on. I guess the don't care for tab should be more for people who we just don't know much about. One of the Firelights, I believe this is. I kind of like them. I mean, we don't get much for them. Maybe they border top of don't care for, actually, because I don't really know them too well, like the character. This guy, the guy with the glasses, I don't care for. We didn't really get much from him. He's technically in season 2 when Victor heals him, but even then, I just don't care much for his character. The lady who runs, is it the brothel, or she runs something in the underground? I like her character, kind of. We don't know much about her, but I do like her character. I think she always kind of pops up in the story when it's needed. So this guy, don't care for, don't know him. This girl, don't care for, don't know her. This person, we kind of know this this woman, but I don't care for much because she just wasn't that interesting. Next character is Smeech, which I don't like his character. I mean I don't care for his character. I guess he died pretty early on in season 2, and I think he only really served as just a fight to show off Savika's new prosthetic arm that she has, so I don't really care for his character all that much. But now we get on to the important one, the most heartbreaking one, Isha. This was genuinely one of the most heartbreaking deaths in Arcane. I probably should have said spoilers, but I imagine if you're watching this video, then you probably keep up with the Arcane series. Isha's death sucked, man. She was one of the best characters. I'd probably put her like amidst all of these legends up here because she genuinely was one of the best characters, and it's such a shame what happened. There's theories that Isha might still be alive, but I'm not so certain. It seemed pretty cemented that Isha definitely died in that battle. Next is the healer who heals one of the council members. I don't care for the thing is, we just don't know much about her. I think she's a good character, but we just don't know much about her. I'm gonna rearrange some of these. This is the drunk guy who joins Caitlyn and Vi's team in Act 1. I don't know whether he'll pop back up in the show. I hope he does. He is, I guess he's meant to be kind of like a parallel to Vanda in a way, because he just looks a lot like Vanda, and kind of acts a lot like Vanda. So I guess he's kind of cool. I think I guess I kind of like him. I don't know much about him. Same with the rest of their team. We just don't know much about them. But I think all of these characters in their team is interesting characters, I guess. And then I'm guessing this is the Grey as a character for some reason, which I guess I don't care for much. And then the Hextech core, I think it is, that's gone a bit wild, that turned Victor into like a robot man, and then has kind of affected Jace as well. I'm assuming this is also going to give Echo his powers and abilities, and it will probably do something with Heimeldinger. I mean, I don't care for it much because we don't really know anything about it, but at the same time, it's an interesting concept, so I guess I'll throw it in. I kind of like it. Maybe we put Jace a bit higher, actually, because I think Jace is a good character. He just, in the end of Act 2, he just has a moment where, like, it's very much divided the fan base on whether you don't like Jace anymore. And then, yeah, I think that is my tier list. Okay, cool. Again, it's opinionated, so I know a lot of people probably won't agree with this tier list. So, I mean, feel free to comment down what you would rank all these characters in, and like where you would put some of these characters. But this is just from what I've watched so far of Arcane. This is where I personally would put all these characters. I'm very, very excited for Act 3 and to see what happens there, because I think Jinx is gonna go back off the deep end now that Isha's gone. So yeah, it should make for a really, really interesting plot in Act 3. I'm interested to know though whether Ambessa will be the final antagonist or whether the Black Rose will be the final antagonist. We will find out, I'm sure, soon. But yeah, anyway, I hope everyone enjoys Act 3 of Arcane, and hopefully we all don't have an emotional moment again at the end of the show and all cry.